This is day 4's reading, page 68 to 89 of Dear Martin. Got from the page. Chapter 8. Before Justice's butt has a chance to sink into the leather of the Rivera's basement couch, Manny's already talking crazy. So how long do you plan on hold out for? So how long do you plan to hold out on your boy? He doesn't turn away from the movie he's watching on mute, while an old Deuce Diggs track thumps through the speakers. I won't even pretend to know what you're talking about, Joe says. Yo, what album is this? I don't think I've heard this cut before. Mixtape from a few years ago. Don't change the subject. Just looks at Manny. What subject? Dog, who just dropped you off? Manny says. SJ? Which you know from the I'll have SJ drop me off text message you responded to 15 minutes ago. Exactly. Exactly what? You and SJ. What about me and SJ? Manny stares at Just like he just said 2 plus 2 was 5. What, Manny? Manny shakes his head. I thought we were boys, Just. Whatever, turn the TV up. Just sticks his hand behind his head. Just tell me how long. How long what, fool? How long you been hooking up with SJ, man? Why you over here playing dumb? Just rolls his eyes. I'm not hooking up with SJ, man. Everybody knows, man. Everybody knows what? That you're over at her house every dang day. You know Jessa is her neighbor, and she told us. She says SJ's parents are obsessed with you. Calls you Just Meister and stuff. Just drags his hand down his face. He knew Jessa was nosy, but dang. First of all, you sound like a dang girl right now with all that gossipy and stuff. Second, I'm not over there every day. And third, when I am there, it's for debate stuff. And fourth, Mr. and Miss F liking me is irrelevant. Manny rolls his eyes. So you all over there for this is debate? Yes, Manny. The state tournament is in 3.5 weeks. Okay, that's all y'all ever talk about? Justice's brows furrows. I mean, we occasionally talk about other stuff, but see? It's something going on between y'all, man. I can't see that stuff all over you. Justice shakes his head and settles down into the couch. I'm not talking about this anymore. You gotta turn up the movie or what? Just, I'm your best friend. Dog. Justice sits up, turns to Manny in the eyes. I'm only going to say this once, so listen carefully, alright? There is nothing going on between me and SJ. Manny stares right back. Just, I know you like her, man, and she obviously likes you. Doesn't matter, Justice sinks back into the leather. It does, though. No, it doesn't. You tripping, man. SJ's a gorgeous girl, and she's perfect for you. Drop it. Come on, Just. I said it doesn't matter, Manny. Why not? Just takes a deep breath. Manny, my mama would blow every gasket in a 50-mile radius. Huh? SJ is white. Manny draws back and puts his hand over his heart and mocks God. What? You're kidding me. Shut up, fool. Whatever, Manny waves him off. She's not white. She's Jewish. It's different. Just sighs. They were slaves too, dog. And then the Holocaust, even now. What you mean? Won't matter to my mama, though. SJ's skin is white. Manny doesn't respond. My mama is not down with that. Still no response. Justice exhales. No offense, Just, but that might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Manny finally says. Manny shrugs. It is what it is, and since making my mom mad off ain't real high on my to-do list, SJ and I are strictly friends. Besides, me and Mel are talking again. Manny smacks his forehead. I was wrong before, he says. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Shut up, man. Just, if Mel and SJ are diverging paths on a road of your life, you're headed for a dead end, my friend. Where do you get this stuff, Manny? I'm just saying, mama aside, you're making the wrong decision. Just snorts. No offense, but I refuse to take relationship advice from a dude who's never been in one. Whoa, now. Just because I don't want a serious girl for the moment doesn't mean I don't know what it takes to maintain a relationship. Here it goes. I'm serious, Jess. You think I've learned nothing from watching my parents over the last 17.5 years? Whatever, man. Can we please drop this? They fall into a weightless silence, both staring at the massive television screen, but neither actually watching the movie. Out of nowhere, Manny says, you know I've got the opposite problem, right? What? I'm going to tell you something, but don't laugh at me, alright? I'm trusting you with a deep, dark secret. Just lifts his eyebrows. Manny inhales, filling his cheeks with the air before blowing it out. I'm scared of black girls, man. Huh? Black girls. I've never encountered a non-family one. Okay. There are none in our grade. The only ones I know are my cousins, and they're a lot. A lot. Like real attitude-y and kinda ghetto. Justice doesn't know what to say. It's not like he has any experience in this area either. Mellow's half black, but she's definitely not the type of girl Manny's talking about. Mel goes on, I know that's a stereotype or whatever, but I've literally never experienced anything else. My folks are all excited about me going to Morehouse next year, but I'm nervous as hell. How come? You're my only black friend, dog. How am I supposed to go to this all-white world to an all-black one overnight? Just didn't respond. Anyway, my bad for just laying that all on you. It's cool. I should have applied to Princeton or something. Would have been more familiar, Manny says. Just shakes Manny's shoulder. You'll be fine, man. I'm sure there'll be plenty of dudes you'll vibe with at Morehouse, just like you vibe with me. It's Spellman I'm really worried about. You know, it's right next door. Black girls everywhere. Just laughs. And you know I love women, man. What if I get there and none of them are feeling me? I wish I knew what to tell you, Manny. All I can say is they're not alike. Just like we aren't. Manny nods. Touché, my dog. They lapse into silence again. Then, I'm just going to say this one thing and I'll get out of your business. Oh boy, here we go. I get wanting to please your mom. The only reason I'm even going to Morehouse is because it's been my spellbound alumni's parents' dream for me since they found out I was a boy. But passing up on a good thing because your mom wouldn't approve, I don't know about that, man. Especially when it comes to something as stupid as a race. Justice snorts. You're still doing that MLK thing, right? What would he do? I would have known considering Miss Coretta was black. Shut up, you know what I mean. If you're doing this be like Martin thing, do it for real. Refusing to date a girl because she's white is probably not the kingly way, bro. Justice glares at Manny. I knew I should have told your punk self anything. Manny smirks and grabs the TV remote from the ottoman. Then he slouches down into the couch and unmutes the movie. Chapter 9. We're on page 75. Justice is so focused on the upcoming state debate tournament, he barely notices Christmas and New Year's as they blow by. Of course, the morning of the tournament itself, it's the last thing on his mind. For one thing, 2 nights ago, he broke up with Mello again, and he's pretty sure it's for the last time. As they sat in their basement, they're rambling about stuff he had no bearings on anything that mattered. Manny's words rang through Justice's head like a 5-bell alarm. If Mello and SJ are diverging paths of the road of life, you're headed for a dead end. Speaking of SJ, the other reason he can't focus? As she steps out on the hotel elevator, smiling at him like he's made the sunrise, his brain goes to mush. Though they cleared things up the day after the Mello SJ cafeteria showdown, I'm sorry for sidelining you, SJ said. I forgive you, jerk, but don't let it happen again. Seeing SJ now, Justice can tell how big of an idiot he's been, especially consider that fitted skirt suit and heels she's rocking. You ready? She says as she's standing in front of him. He just stares. His smile fades and she touches her cheek. What? Is there something on my face? No. Justice clears his throat. You look really nice is all. Oh, thanks. Her cheeks turn pink. Justice thinks he might combust. She winks and tugs at his tie, which matches the deep maroon of her suit, just like they planned. You're not too bad yourself. Just then, Doc comes around the corner from the breakfast buffet with the rest of the team in tow. Good morning, my little lion cubs. He steps between Justice and SJ and drapes an arm around each of their shoulders. Ready to rumble? You bet your butt we are. Watch it, Miss Friedman, Josh says in Doc's voice. Doc and SJ laugh. Serious, though. I know your round isn't until after lunch, but you feel like you're ready? What Doc isn't saying is he still hasn't gotten his mind around the fact that his 2 top debaters elected to forego the actual debate rounds of the tournament and solely focus on the advanced part of argumentation. In other words, they've got one shot. We're ready as we'll ever be, SJ says. She reaches past Doc to squeeze Justice's hand. Just looks at her and he smiles. He has no clue how he's going to get through this day. Truth be told, Just and SJ haven't settled on a topic until a couple weeks ago. They were in her basement. She was sitting cross-legged with her laptop open in a massive wicker chair that Mr. F imported from Israel, and Just was pacing around the pool table, siding the cue like a hobbit stuff, trying not to oogle her eyes. He sighed as he passed her again. Maybe we should do the stereotype threat thing. We've got a solid argument there. Yeah, minus the guys presenting it wasn't affected at all. We gotta pick something, S, he said. Like now, we're running out of time. I know. Give me a sec. I'm working on something. She went back to typing and Justice's mind went to a different direction. Over the past couple days, it's really sunk in. This would be his and S's final tournament. When it was over, his excuse for hanging out with her would be kaput. And then what would he do? He glanced over at her again. She was rocking her glasses with her messy hair in a messy knot. His favorite way for her to be. Yeah, just last night he'd been at Mello's and definitely not anything academic was going around. But being around SJ was just different. He didn't want to let it go, but he had no clue how to keep it going. Oh my God, what? I think I've got it. Come here. She uncrossed her legs and made room for him in the chair. As he squeezed him beside her, he felt his whole left side pressed against his side, and he had to take the cul-de-sac a deep breath. She smelled like fruit and flowers and forced himself to focus. So check this out. The Myth of the Super Predator was the title of the article. The gist of this: back in the 90s, some big shot researchers predicted the number of violent crimes committed by African American teens would skyrocket in the years to follow. The leading authority on the matter dubbed their potential criminals super predators. Justice already knew about the super predator myth. He stumbled upon the whole thing while dealing with his own profiling trauma, but he let SJ keep going because when he would get to see her all absorbed in debate research and talking a million miles per minute, he'd miss that. Fortunately, the prediction was incorrect. Crime rates among youth plummeted. Okay. Unfortunately, it seems the fear of young black guys created by this research is alive and well. She ran a finger over her wrist. And time to get up. He went back to pacing. So where would we go with this, S? Well, I'm thinking we can do an argument on racial profiling. You're not serious. I am. So you've lost it. Is what you're really telling me? Oh, come on. What do we have to lose? The tournament? Screw the tournament. She shut her laptop and came over to where he was. This is something people need to hear about. It's an argumentation goldmine. It wasn't that he didn't believe that they could form a solid argument. She was right. The numbers spoke for themselves. The real issue, he didn't want to be the black guy accused of playing the race card in a state tournament. He turned to her then, which he probably shouldn't have because feelings. I don't know about this, S. I didn't sleep for a week after what happened to you, Just. I know we might be throwing away our chance at a win, but if we can get some facts out there, maybe people like that make people think a little bit, it'll be worth it, right? Just didn't say a word. She threw her arms over his shoulder, boob on his bicep. It's our last hurrah. Let's go out with a bang. Come on, Jessie. She pouted. He sighed. There would be no turning her down. Fine. Let's do it. Based on their combined debate record for the season, 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, Justice and SJ are the final pair in their division to present their argument. When their names are called, they step into the glaring lights and up to the adjacent podiums. The only people Just can see are the 3 judges. The senator says, "You may begin." SJ launches into their introduction. In her final sentence, "We are here to argue the racial disparities of the U.S. criminal system is largely due to racial profiling." A murmur trickles through the audience. Justice's stomach clenches, and a bead of sweat runs down his side into his armpit. 2 of the judges are stone-faced, and when he locks eyes with a third, a white lady, she nods at him. His eyes shift among the 3 of them as he and SJ rattle off the statistics to support their argument. Drug use versus drug conviction numbers, arrest numbers in minority populations versus white policed zones. By the time they get to the super predator stuff, all 3 judges are ramped. And when Just realizes SJ was right, whether or not they win this tournament, he needed to talk about an uphill form. When they're done, Just feels like he's walking in a dream. He and SJ get backstage, and the team sweeps up in the hugs and high fives. Doc, with the most visibly moist eyeballs, tells Just how proud he is, and a black guy from another team nods at him across the room. Some random cute girl